Hi guys, this is Taylor and I'm here today with my April wrap-up. First things first, I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to Brittany from Under the Radar Books, Amanda from Amanda Center, anyone who has given my channel a shout out recently. Y'all are making this channel grow at an unprecedented rate, and to all subscribers, to all friends, new and old, this would not be the channel that it is without you. Having said that, April was a weird outlier reading month. I got into a little bit of a slump where I couldn't finish anything, and that led to me not finishing the main thing that I wanted to read in April, which was Paul Auster's New York trilogy. But that's okay with me. I think I'm back into the swing of things now, and that's just going to carry over into next month, and then everything will be back on track. Okay, so you might remember that in March I read 1Q84, and as much as I enjoyed it, which was a lot, as soon as I finished it, I wanted to pick up something that was really not 1Q84. So for anyone who just subscribed, hi, this is out of character, or maybe not at this point, I don't know. Several months ago, I started rereading this awful series that I loved as a kid and never really got to finish. This is the second to last installment, and I cannot imagine the series getting any worse, although somehow I know it's going to. Okay, so this is number 5 in the series. We still have our two main characters, twins Grace and Connor, and they are both still very preoccupied with both pirates and vampire pirates, and that is about as much plot as I can give you. But at this point, the plot and the characters feel like a parody of the first few books. It feels like the author built up this world and this plot, and then it just got out of control and he doesn't know what to do with it at this point. This entire installment was just chaotic, and not in a good way. If this series was any longer than 6 books, I would not be finishing it. At this point, I'm sworn to finish it out of obligation to my childhood. Don't read this series. Don't invest in this series. If you're really curious, maybe read the first book and pretend that it's a standalone with a very ambiguous ending. I gave this a 1-star rating. The first of 2016, woo! So after that, I did a complete 180, as I often do, and I picked up Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. This is a classic absurdist play written in 1952, and I had almost no exposure to it before I actually read it, and I ended up loving it. This play has been famously described as nothing happens twice. There is very little plot. It's essentially about two men on the side of a road waiting for someone or something called Godot. You really just have to go with it and see what you make of it. I think it would be tremendously helpful if you could read this with a class or a book club, because I think the main idea of pieces like this is that there are so many interpretations of it. And to be able to bounce ideas off of other people and get feedback and insight would be very advantageous to the reading experience. I loved Waiting for Godot. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for an experience, and I gave this 4 stars. At this point in the month, I was really dragging, not wanting to read much of anything, so in an attempt to combat that, I picked up a middle grade book. This is Crenshaw by Catherine Applegate. The story behind this is that I randomly saw it at the library and I was totally entranced by the cover illustration. I love everything about it. The mood, the colors, the vague creepiness. This is one of my favorite covers of all time, I think. The story is about a 10-year-old boy named Jackson who has an imaginary friend in the form of a giant cat who only ever really appears when Jackson's family is in financial trouble, as they often are. I found this really enjoyable. It wasn't quite what I was expecting, but I really liked it nonetheless. I don't think I've ever seen middle grade tackle an issue like poverty in such a realistic way, yet it was still totally palatable for a middle grade audience, and that's of course incredibly important. I would recommend this if you're a middle grade fan, absolutely. I gave this 4 stars. The cover gets 10 stars out of 5. And lastly for this month, I picked up a graphic novel, also from the library. This is Strolling Through the Louvre by David Prudhomme. This is really just about a man walking through the Louvre in Paris and making observations both about the art and about the people observing it. with a weird little twist at the end. I really like the art style, and I did like some of the messages about how and why we interact with art. It just didn't blow me away. It was nothing to phone home about, but I did enjoy it. I gave this 3 stars. So that was April, a very all over the place kind of month. I think May will be a lot more stable. I'm not traveling as much. I'm reading Jane Eyre for the first time, so that's... I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye!